Scaling is hard, especially when it comes to your support team. This is Alberto from Fullview, and today I want to talk to you about how you can effectively scale your support team and which things you should look out for the most. Probably have seen it a million times that hyper-growth companies find themselves in a position where their user base is growing much faster than they can keep up on the support side. That probably happened to you, both part of the company or as a consumer, not being able to get the right support because the company is simply growing too fast. One thing that is very important to keep in mind is that customer support teams cannot grow linearly. So if your user base doubles, you cannot exactly just double your support team and indefinitely continue that way. So you need to implement a good mix of internal processes, tools, and of course expanding headcount. Let's start taking a look at the tools. So a lot of companies, the moment they're scaling, they just jump on the automation bandwagon and think, okay, let's automate as much as we can. And that's generally not necessarily a bad approach as long as it doesn't impact the experience of your customers. So you would need to differentiate between automations that are leveraged by your team internally versus anything that is customer facing. For example, chatbots, which can work and should be implemented correctly for an effective improvement of your support processes, but they also can lead to a poor experience for the customer whenever they're not able to get the answers they're looking for. So there are other tools that can help you understand customer issues faster, for example. That's where Fullview falls into the picture. That can be leveraged to improve the productivity of your support team and also create better experiences. So you always have to balance out expanding headcount versus investing into new technology, new solutions, maybe even just new internal processes to simply being able to provide better support faster. And the last aspect that is also quite important regards the structure of your team. So there is no perfect playbook that would fit every single company. So that's something that needs to be figured out based on your needs, on your structure, and your product, of course. But there are a few basic ways that companies that are scaling fast need to consider. So one is, for example, covering different time zones. So maybe having distributed support teams that are split by geography whenever you're big enough that becomes necessary. Another way of structuring your team could be to separate level 1 and level 2 kind of support from level 3. If you have a very technical product and you know that a lot of the time spent on support requests is actually for technical support, that might be something that makes sense, as opposed to the early days where everybody can provide support at any stage. There are a few other things, of course, and you would also may want to consider how you structure your customer experience team in general, how your support teams works with your success teams and with your product team. So all of those topics, they become more and more relevant as your organization grows, as your customer expectations get higher. I'm hoping that these few thoughts on the topic might help you. We have a lot more content regarding scaling support teams and how to structure teams, so make sure to check that out, and I hope to see you all the next time.